Welcome to Top Cut quarterfinals of our Gym Challenge, League Challenge at Psycho Turtle in Pico Rivera, California. Dennis Geisler, Benjamin Harlan. We're going to get right into it. We've got our 1-8 matchup in quarterfinals between Abigail Watson and Hayley Aldworth, two of our typical Top Cut players here. I mean, sometimes you'll see both of them in the same top four. Not going to see both of them in the same top four photo this time because they're playing against each other now. Abby with the Rillaboom, Serena, Tornadus, Incarnate, Urshifu, Rapid Strike, Chen Pao, and the Kyogre. Terra Grass, Mystic Water with Water Spout, Origin Pulse, Ice Beam, Protect. Hayley with that Dondozo, Tatsugiri with the Weezing, the Galarian Weezing, Iron Hands, Indeedee Female, and the Calyrex Shadow Rider, Terra Fairy, Focus Sash, Protect, Expanding Force, Psyshock, Astral Barrage. A little different than what I've seen this team before. Still has kind of that, the entry hazard, poison, damage stall thing with Shadow Rider, and then also the Dondozo. It's funny because you kind of expect other things to set up for the Shadow Rider to sweep towards the end of the game, a little bit like Dawe's team at San Antonio. This team kind of does it the opposite direction, where Shadow Rider tends to come in pretty early to do a bunch of damage, and then Dondozo and Tatsugiri come in at the end and clean up the remainder of the game. I don't think there's anything here that stops Dondozo. There's no haze, no clear smog, no nothing.
The thing is, it's Sash on Shadow Rider, so it's guaranteed to get, it's guaranteed to even live a turn, which can help against, like, Tailwind leads.
Yeah. Only exception is Rapid Strike.
Yeah, and Abigail locked in pretty quickly her Tornadus and Kyogre lead. Makes sense, you want to try and get as much damage out as possible. You could actually just double attack, so Bleakwind and Origin Pulse, which varying quite a bit of accuracy with an 80% and an 85% accuracy. But we do not see the Weezing in lead, which means that Rain will be up, which is good for Abigail because after that, Grizzle doesn't do anything. So if Weezing comes in, at this point doesn't matter.
Yeah, and to a degree you can kind of just ball out right now. Like, use the one turn to protect your Kyogre from the fake out, but get your Tailwind up and get like a Bleakwind down and just start...
Oh, the only way that Hayley can punish that is just bringing in the Weezing.
Tornadus is Rocky Helmet.
Shock when it goes into the other slot. So if it was double protect, which she didn't go for, but if it was double protect, then Weezing could come in, and now you're not fast enough because you don't have Prankster.
Yeah,
that still is the case, actually.
Yeah, well, and the problem here is that you do have the... Yeah, I mean, we'll see if Weezing comes in. I kind of doubt it. I assume it's probably the Dondozo and Tatsugiri in the back, given how Hayley just plays those two basically whenever. I think the big thing here is that it's just a question of, we're going to see the Calyrex switch out.
No, never mind.
Yeah, it's going to be the...
I don't know why I got thrown off there.
Ooh, we're going to see the Dondozo and Tatsugiri here.
I think I just read it wrong. Well, here's the thing. Now it's going to spam Bleakwind and Water Spout, and you have to Terra eventually.
Pretty much. But at the same time, I mean, you're not going to take an absurd amount of damage against this. You're going to take a lot of damage, but...
Yeah, if you Terra...
I'd imagine this turn is going to be the Tailwind Water Spout.
Yeah,
there's the Tailwind.
You don't need a Terra because you're neutral and resistant as opposed to, resistant and weak. So I think actually we'll just say... that could do some damage.
That's pretty good damage for damage against the Dondozo, but leftovers, this thing just sits. And I mean, you're able to click, Wave Crash will do a ton of damage into anything, and Order Up, always scary. It's kind of just a question of how Hayley reads the situation at this point.
Yeah, you got Life Orb Urshifu coming in here, so that's going to do a lot of damage, because although it is a water type, crits, ignoring the defense boosts, is huge. And with the Rain and the Life Orb, this is going to do a massive amount of damage. We're going to see if the Dozo attacked into the Kyogre, and it did not.
Very nice for the Dondozo there. Getting that attack boost, getting a bunch of damage down on the Urshifu. It also means that you can't protect for extra leftovers healing, which is Pretty nice, the Urshifu does, at least, with that Unseen Fist. I think... something really interesting to say. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Something important about this matchup is they did play in Swiss, these two. I think in round 1 or 2. I think Abby won, but I'm not sure. I should have checked.
Yeah.
In any case, the Kyogre is going to switch out. It's going to be the Serena coming in. Does have the super effective move against the Dondozo. That Surging Strikes, I mean, it is still against the Dondozo, which is extremely physically bulky and resist against water-type moves, so it's a lot more damage than a lot of things are going to do to Dondozo, but it's not going to do a whole lot of damage. And we'll see what Dozo goes for here. Yeah, it's going to be the Earthquake. Hayley always likes clicking that Earthquake, and that should get rid of the Urshifu. Yeah, sure will. And I can play it out a little slowly again, get a Protect turn of leftovers, and feel pretty good about it. And also stall out Tailwind a little bit more. I think this might be the last turn. Getting close. Speaking of that, its Tornado's coming back in. That's a question that I have that I guess we'll find out the answer to pretty soon. Is Order Up a contact move? Can't be, right?
Nope.
That's crazy.
I thought it was.
Yeah. There's the Bleak Wind.
Yeah, and tried to call the Terra, though. She clicked the triple axle. Ooh. She tried to call the Terra. Power Up would have probably picked up the KO at about, it's about 25%, so Power Up probably would have taken a KO here.
Yeah.
And then you get a pretty safe switch, but...
Ooh.
Yeah.
Order Up doesn't pick up the knockout, though. Although you do get a rain to stop now. I think this is the last turn of Tailwind? This upcoming turn is the last turn? Oh, nope, there it goes. Okay. And that gets pretty awkward now, because if you don't put up the Tailwind right now, well, I guess it doesn't matter. We're going to get the Protect stall.
This is better for Abigail, because now she can probably Bleak Wind into Power Whip.
That's a thing, because yeah, you can split your moves and you'll
and
be
you reset
fine.
up Tailwind, so now you're faster than the Shadow Rider and the Scarf Tatsugiri.
Because yeah, I think that it probably would have been the better call here just to attack this turn, because you know the Tailwind's probably coming back up. Again, maybe this was all conditioning that we saw in the previous matchup between these two, so...
Serena didn't have Protect, so that could have been a slot to go into, but... Wind, obviously misses the Velocity, but it hits. Power Whip, if it connects, will make a KO.
Ooh, it drops the speed.
Does not matter.
Not super meaningful at this point, yeah.
Serena picks it. So now the Tatsugiri will just pop up out of nowhere.
Whee!
Very bottom of your screen. So now we have probably hands coming in to try and fake out pressure. Yeah, fake out pressure.
Yeah, I guess the question at this point is how much did...
Fake out pressure doesn't work
I
against
can't
Serena.
do that against Serena.
Yeah.
I guess the question at this point is how much did Dondozo and Tatsugiri accomplish there? They did get Urshifu out of the way, which is pretty big.
The Kyogre's full HP, I think.
The Kyogre is, I think, yeah, it's still full HP. We'll see, especially because, I mean, despite everything with Kyogre, Tatsugiri is still a quad resist against the water-type moves.
Ooh, we're seeing a Terra here on Tornadus. I think what is she calling here? Probably a electric move?
Yeah, possibly an electric move, just trying to keep the Tornadus standing here so they can be there alongside the Kyogre. I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to Terra the Kyogre at this point.
Yeah, so. I think Helping Hand Bleak Wind might pick up the KO on the Tatsugiri. I think the reasoning here.
I don't think it will. Tatsu is a little bit bulkier than that, but I think it will stop the Tatsugiri from... Yeah, I think it will stop the Tatsugiri from eating a Water Spout, which is the important thing. Get the Icy Wind. Yeah, and that's, I guess, a part of it as well, is that it doesn't let Icy Wind be super effective anymore, but...
Well, Wild Charge, if it is Wild Charge, Drain...
Ooh!
Wow.
That's a call-out. Gonna take that Rocky Helmet damage back, but probably going to heal more than the Rocky Helmet damage, and, of course, got the Tornadus out of the way, which is pretty important.
Yeah, no Terra there would have been very good, because, like you said, it did heal more, but without the Terra, that's doing more damage than you're even dealing, and healing to yourself, and now it's a 1v3. Kyogre...
It's a 1v3. I think the big thing is how many turns...
There's 2 turns of Tailwind left, so...
Yeah, the Tailwind turn.
But no Protect on either of these Mons. So
But there is a Protect on Calyrex.
Calyrex, yeah.
I think that's the thing, is that once Calyrex comes in, it's going to be how well it can take these hits from Kyogre.
Yeah, it just comes down to whether it can live in Origin Pulse, because obviously Kyogre is not going to be faster after Protect.
Yeah. Or how many Origin Pulses it can take versus how many Water Spout, or versus how many Astral Barrages
oh,
that
it's Sash.
Kyogre can take. Yeah, because it's Sash. So it will certainly take at least one hit.
But, then I think...
But Kyogre is pretty specially bulky.
Oh, Tailwind's already gone. Yeah, well... No need for Protect then. It doesn't really make a huge difference. But I think if you're Abigail, you just click Ice Beam here. Don't risk the miss, and you now have a chance of breathing.
Do 2 Ice Beams pick up the knockout?
Well, 1 Ice Beam into Origin Pulse does.
That's fair.
And Ice Beam gives you a chance at Freeze.
I guess, yeah, you gotta click Origin Pulse at some point, though.
Yeah.
And you miss it now. Hey, it's better to miss it now than miss it on the potential game-winning turn.
Yeah, well, it didn't matter because Kyogre got 2-shot by Psyshock anyway. So.
Yep. And that'll be game 1 for Hayley. And as I mentioned, like, Dondozo and Tatsugiri, they didn't sweep the entire team, but they got enough out of the way to clean things up for Calyrex to come in at the end, which is the opposite of what I said at the beginning of the game, but if I say opposite things in the middle of the game, then I always come out on top.
Yeah, and I think she wanted to. You were right about getting the damage onto Tatsu, and I think she needed to make a call whether it was going to be Wild Charge or Drain Punch, and just got it wrong. Because if she calls
that was
it right,
a great call from Hayley.
Yeah, if she calls it right, doesn't Terra, and then Hayley Drain Punches. Now it's a bunch of extra chip, and you stay alive, and then they would have been able to go for a double protect. Possibly either double protect or just be able to get another Tailwind up, and that would win the game because now you just outspeed and pick up the KO on the actual Bad Rider in the back. So we're gonna see same leads but different Mons. We're gonna see Rillaboom this time instead of Urshifu. It makes sense. Urshifu, like, it's nice.
It was the Serena that switched out, not the Urshifu.
Oh, it is? Oh, yeah, you're right.
Which I do like the Urshifu being there. I mean, we saw how much it did to Dondozo.
Exactly.
Like,
you don't
I
need
don't
double
know
grass.
how.
Yeah, you don't need double grass at this point. And, yeah, so leaving Serena behind, like, you brought it game 1, so you're already kind of scaring away Fake Out. And Rillaboom's got a lot more reliable damage. You're not risking a Power Whip miss.
Yeah.
And you also get Fake Out. So you have the
get Fake Out. And you also get high horsepower. Can be nice.
Terra Ground high horsepower.
Terra Ground high horsepower. I mean, if Weezing does show up, that is pretty nice. And of course against Hands, which we saw in the last one. I mean, that's always the difficult thing about playing against Hayley, is that you know what Dondozo is going to be doing, but you can't spec entirely into Dondozo because you do have to remember the other two around. And that's always, I don't know, it's always just a really awkward way to play against a team like this, because you're not building your team to play against this team. If you were, then you'd probably be fine.
Well, I think, obviously, the issue is, like, each one of these variations is different, right? Like, Tatsugiri, Dondozo, Calyrex, Weezing, that's kind of become an established thing. Weezing actually has a very high usage rate right now, which is kind of surprising. But, yeah every single one of these teams is going to be different. Is it, Indeedee with, does it have a size spam option? Does it have a Trick Room option? Like, a lot of different variations you can put in the last 2 slots, and so that's just what makes it, difficult to deal with. Is just you have no abilities, or you have to beat Dondozo, or, like, how you play against it is just going to change. So,
and here's the interesting one. You do have that Tornadus Kyogre lead. I mean, there's nothing stopping Abby from clicking Tailwind Water Spout at the same time.
The issue is that Indeedee could switch in, or Tatsugiri. So you either switch in Indeedee and get Expanding Force, or you switch in Tatsugiri and you get Dozo.
Well, yeah, and I think I'm more worried about the Tatsugiri switch in because, I mean...
Then you get the boost and start damaging,
Yeah, I guess if you get Expanding Force, you could just lose the game. If you get hit too hard with Expanding Force, but yeah.
But it is just going to be
It's going to be the Calyrex switch out. Yeah, I think this makes more sense. Got the Tatsugiri in here. And we'll see how much the water moves do right now from the Kyogre. after we get the 8 boosts that Dondozo gets. We got the Bleak Wind.
Wow, that's not big.
It's not a lot, but it is a little chunk, and that's what you need at some point. Origin Pulse, not the Water Spout, which is fascinating.
Oh, and a
that
crit.
is a critical hit, and that is going to massively change the shape of this one.
And a Wave Crash into the Rocky Helmet. Another crit, ironically.
Yeah,
doesn't
another
matter.
crit. That one certainly did not matter. I think Dondozo will still
It'll
stick
stay alive,
around.
but it will not be on very much.
Yo, it does not stick around. That is tough. That is very tough for Hayley.
And I mean, even without the crit, that still would have done a ton of recoil on top of...
Yeah, I think that part of it didn't necessarily matter, because I think Wave Crash into Tornadus was just going to knock out Tornadus, and that's a static amount of recoil.
Oh yeah, no, the
stuff.
crit, what I'm
It's
saying... the crit into Origin Pulse.
Oh, the crit into the Origin Pulse,
because
I think at the very least Dondozo would have stayed there,
Yeah,
and we see how much...
turn.
Yeah, we know
Install
how much...
out Tailwind, too.
Yeah, how much... Well, I think install a Tail... Well, Tailwind didn't go up.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
that was
you're
Bleak
right.
Wind. So, at the very least, Tailwind's not up, so Shadow Rider can do whatever it wants here. Not whatever it wants, but Shadow Rider and Scarf Tatsugiri will go faster, pending a fake out into the Tatsugiri, since obviously you can't into the Shadow Rider.
Yeah, so that crit allowed... It just prevents Dozer from having an extra turn on the field.
Yeah.
Same
Time, yep. Tatsugiri will switch out. Does still have the ability to go for the
That is...
Scarf shenanigans
That
later.
is indeedy.
It is indeedy. That's a crazy play in the back there. That might end this. that really might end it, yeah. I don't know that Abby saw that one coming, and if this is just expanding force, yep. This,
Life Orb Returning
is
Force.
this just gonna knock out both these Pokemon? Oh no, not even close. That was
Yeah.
way less damage than I thought it'd be.
I
The
think-
Water Spout also is not gonna do very much. It's good damage. That's really good damage. You know what? I'm a liar.
it's
I'm a
totally
liar.
up,
That's
but
good
I
damage.
think it's because it's Sash.
Yeah.
So I think
That is true.
If it's Life
At
Orb,
the
that
same
is
time-
significantly more. Kyogre's got monster
Yeah.
special defense. So does Rillaboom. With
At the
Assault
same
Vest.
time, Helping Hand expanding force, there's no downside right now.
I think, yeah. So you switch out Rillaboom, protect, sack your Urshifu here.
Yeah.
This would have been a nice time to have Gem Pack, but obviously didn't have time.
Yep, there's Helping Hand.
of course. So that's going to
Did Kyogre protect?
yeah.
Oh, there it goes. Okay.
That's going to send that Urshifu to another realm.
Bye, Urshifu.
Yeah, that is a massively powerful attack. And
Well,
now,
that's the funny thing as well, is that even now, you can still click Astral Barrage.
yeah, and then you can fake, but you can fake out an Indeedee at least for this turn.
Yeah.
The problem is that
But now there's the boost, and
Yeah.
I think that Astral... it's going to be close. Astral Barrage taking out the Kyogre. It's going to be close.
it's gonna, yeah, because obviously no expanding force. The problem is that I'm pretty sure Hayley has a guaranteed win here by just switching the Indeedee on protecting, and I don't think there's much that she can.
That is also true, yeah. There's really not a lot that Abby can do about that. Although at the same time, this is the turn that Kyogre can't protect, so you can kind of get a little on the aggressive side, and it'll be fine. But yeah, that is the play. It's probably going to be Indeedee out. And there's the Tatsugiri back in. Yep. Kyogre goes for the double protect. I guess why not? There's the Grassy Glide. I like that play, actually, because you really need to get the Calyrex out of here.
And you know what? Yeah, you don't let the Indeedee back in immediately. But the thing is, the Indeedee can literally immediately switch right back in. And then think
That's the thing, is that what do you do about Indeedee switching in for Tatsugiri and Expanding Force here?
I think we saw the damage before. It might live, but
And even then, Tatsugiri comes in.
well, Tatsugiri just with
the
Tatsugiri
Choice
comes
Scarf.
back in Scarf. It has Icy Wind. It can just
Yeah.
kind of clean up here. Yeah, indeed. Just
And even then, I don't know if either of them take this hit after an extra special attack boost. Calyrex got one more. Oh, it's the Calyrex switching out. I guess that's fine. I don't see why not.
thing is that she clicked Water Spout, so this is going to KO the Indeedee, and then Grassy Glide's going to go into the Tatsu.
Can't Grassy Glide.
Well, it's no longer priority because of the train.
Yeah, it's no longer priority, yeah. I guess it's drop speed. I don't necessarily see the point, but I also don't think it's a problem. Water Spout's going to knock out Indeedee, that's for sure, and I don't think that Tatsugiri's going to drop here.
It might have dropped a Woodhammer, but she didn't click it, so... yeah.
Yeah, there's the Grassy Glide.
Yeah, Woodhammer
that does
it.
Very good damage. Is that... just really strong.
Yeah,
I guess I have no idea how much damage Tatsugiri should ever take.
Yeah, Woodhammer... I mean, if Woodhammer takes a KO there, then I think... I think that would have been... I think Woodhammer actually could have won the game there.
I don't know what's happening. I think that keeping the boosts was better. Keeping the +1 boost, I think, was better. Because now I'm a little worried about actually taking down the Kyogre.
I mean, Icy Wind.
Get another Icy Wind turned down. I mean, you need to get as much chip as you can onto the Kyogre. Oh, okay. That's how this game is going to end. Is that I think that Tatsugiri goes first, ahead of the Calyrex, knocks out the Rillaboom, and then the Kyogre takes single damage.
But the Tatsu dies.
Oh, but the Tatsu... No, the Tatsu eats that hit, because it's crazy. Oh, no, it doesn't.
That's why I was like...
Tatsu is crazy, though. Yeah, this actually could have been the throw of the century.
Indeedee. I mean, I don't know how much Psychic Terrain's left. I don't think it's enough to stall.
There's a million turns of Psychic Terrain.
3 turns.
That's not going to happen. I think you just have to go for it here.
This is probably a damage roll. I would not be shocked if this is a damage roll.
Expanding Force.
And it picks up the KO.
It picks up both KOs. Hayley Aldworth heading to semifinals.
Got a little bit dicey there at the end. I mean,
it got a bit dicey there at the end. I got a little bit scared, but still went through. And yeah, the win for Hayley. We will potentially see her in finals. We're not going to see her in semis. Well, we're not, because we're going to watch the other semifinal. That's how we do the scheduling for these. But yeah, always fun to see that Dondozo. I enjoy seeing Hayley play Dondozo. I think it's always fun. And I mean, we saw in that set just the different ways that you get value out of your Dondozo. Because that time, not really a lot of the passive damage came, and it was just deal a billion damage with Dondozo, deal a billion damage with Shadow Rider, see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, and then she was only in that position because Dozo got crit. I mean, without the Dozo crit, it's going to be allowed a route longer. It takes the KO on the Tornadus immediately, so no Tailwind late game. No Tailwind at all. I mean, just she clicked Bleak Wind immediately.